What's up, guys? Today we're talking about 6'4", 315-pound offensive tackle Tyler Booker. And before we get started, remember the best way to let me know that you like this content and that you want to see more is number one, by subscribing to the channel and liking the video. When I was breaking down film, the first thing I noticed about Tyler's game was his movement skills and his strengths in pass blocking and run blocking. Whether he's down blocking, reaching a defensive end, working a double team, or pulling, Tyler doesn't waste movement with false steps. Also, he stays within his frame, allowing him to react quickly. And when we're talking about his movement skills and pass blocking, it truly is impressive. His pass pro and his kick slide is beautiful. He covers ground so well that he's able to pick up a wide 9 edge rusher, but also can cover a cap blitz from a corner with ease. And when we take a deeper dive at Tyler's run blocking, he fires off the ball with good pad level, explosion, and powerful steps, allowing him to get underneath the pads of the defensive lineman. He runs his feet on contact, preventing him from leaning while blocking. And when he gets inside hands on the defensive lineman, they don't have a chance. Sometimes Tyler's punch is a little wide, and he doesn't get inside hands in a defensive lineman's breastplate. But because he's so athletic, he's able to recover and usually win the block. When he does get inside hands though, he's able to showcase a powerful punch that jolts defensive linemen, and he finishes blocks. And when he gets the defender's breastplate, he doesn't allow them to disengage. And once again, that's because he runs his feet on contact. It's also worth noting that he does a good job of blocking at the second level, and it's because he takes the right angles to get the linebackers. Tyler is truly well beyond his years when it comes to pass blocking. He does an excellent job of keeping his head out of the block and exhibits superb patience. He's got the lateral and vertical quickness to thwart speed rush moves, but also has the strength to anchor down and withstand power rush moves like the bull rush. And again, he does all of this while keeping his head out of the block. And sometimes it takes offensive linemen years to learn how to do that in pass protection. And mind you, Tyler's doing that in high school. Alrighty guys, let's go ahead and jump into the highlights. That's a beautiful down block. He fires off low, gets underneath the defender, and he has inside hands. And he finishes that block with an authoritative pancake. He reaches the defensive end and has inside hands, and because he's got the breastplate, he doesn't allow the defender to disengage and make that arm tackle. That's a great job of running his feet on contact and finishing the block. That is good awareness. He sees that linebacker's coming on a delayed blitz, he picks him up and he flattens him. Here he is again. This is going to be great awareness. That linebacker's coming on a delayed blitz. He fires off the ball low. He gets underneath the pads of the defender and he gets inside hands. And no matter what the linebacker tries to do to disengage, he's not going to be able to get away from Tyler's grip on that breastplate, and he finishes the block. That's great patience, and Tyler does an excellent job of keeping his head out of the block. The outside linebacker's a wide 9 rusher is trying to run the bell curve, but Tyler's able to sit back there patiently. He knows the outside linebacker is going to have to force the issue and work his way back to the quarterback. And as soon as he does that, we see Tyler get those inside hands with a powerful punch. Oh, he takes a great angle to get to the linebacker at the second level, and that's important. He blocks to where the linebacker is going to be as opposed to where the linebacker currently is. That's great pad level again. He gets underneath the defensive end. He gets those inside hands, and you see it. As soon as the defensive end tries to shuck Tyler right there at the end, he doesn't let go of that breastplate, and he finishes. You love seeing that mean streak in an offensive lineman. Look at that. He never compromises his base, and he runs his feet through the entire block. Well, that's an excellent down block. He's got his head in the right spot, he's got inside hands, and the running back follows him for the touchdown. That's a great job of working to that outside linebacker in a controlled fashion, and once again, he finishes the block. What a down block. And here's another example. He doesn't step underneath himself. He gains ground with his first step. He gets that punch in on a defensive end, and he's able to wash him right down the line of scrimmage. His punch is a little wide and his hands are outside the frame off the initial snap of the ball. But because he's under control and because he's athletic, he's able to go ahead and react, recover, and win that block. I love that right there. He gets the inside hand there on the defensive end's breastplate, and as he's starting to lean at him, he notices it, and he just goes ahead and dumps him straight to the ground. That's great awareness and patience right there to win that block. Well, that's a great double team. They demolish the defensive tackle, and that guard's able to go ahead and peel off and pick up the linebacker at the second level. That's a testament as to how measured and under control Tyler is with his footwork. How often in college and the NFL do you see offensive tackles have to work out wide and they'll miss blocking a corner or an outside linebacker just because those guys are quicker out there on the field than them? But because he has his base and he's moving under control, he's able to go ahead and block that edge rusher. Oh man, that's a beautiful job in pass protection. He's so patient right there. The defensive end tries to extend that inside hand to go ahead and get Tyler's breastplate, but he slow plays it, he keeps his head out of the block, and as soon as he notices that defensive end's leaning, he just goes ahead and dumps him straight to the ground. That's excellent. He's got his arms extended, he has inside hands, and as soon as that defensive end tries to go ahead and cut back in, he powers down and pancakes him. That's a great job of running that defensive end by. The defensive end is trying to use a speed rush move by running the bell curve, but Tyler continues to kick, positioning himself between the defensive end and the quarterback. And when you do that, it allows the quarterback still to have that clean pocket where he can step up and throw the football. That is a hellacious down block on that big D tackle. And again, you get to see that punch and that push in action. He flattens him out. He does a good job of inviting the edge rusher up the field on that draw. And again, as soon as he gets those hands locked on the outside linebacker, he's able to go ahead and finish that block. That's a fierce double team block. He drives that down lineman, the defensive end, 7 yards off the line of scrimmage. That's an excellent backside block. He reaches the 3 technique. Just by alignment, Tyler should be at a disadvantage, but because he moves so quickly off the snap of the ball, he's able to go ahead and reach across the face of the 3 technique and completely wall him off. That's excellent. That's another great job of driving the defensive end 7 yards off the line of scrimmage. That's a great job of powering back down the line of scrimmage. The defensive end starts out with the speed rush move, then he tries to actually bull rush Tyler, but again, he anchors down and he just knocks him straight to the ground. Being patient is so important as a pass blocker. If you were to bite on that initial speed rush move, it would leave you vulnerable there to that bull rush. You wouldn't have time to anchor down and actually stop that pass rusher. I love that one-on-one block win against the defensive end. Again, he maintains the integrity of that hole. The running back follows right in that path and scores a touchdown. That's a great job. He gets that inside hand on the outside linebacker and completely takes him out of the play. Look at that punch. He gets inside hands on that defensive end. He extends and he keeps that defender at bay with those long arms. He works inside out on the outside linebacker. He keeps moving and driving his feet and he finishes the block. He's got his head up. He notices that outside linebacker coming into the picture. His head's back. He's able to go ahead and have his weight inside on that front leg. He gets the punch in on that outside pass rusher, and he just completely negates any type of pass rush. That's a good block. And I know some of you might not be impressed with it because he didn't pancake the defender or drive him a million miles off the line of scrimmage, but he's under control working at the second level. And we see right here, when you're under control, the running back can make the cut and make the offensive lineman right. That's an outstanding down block. He washes that defensive end right down the line of scrimmage, making it easy for the pulling guard and the tight end to go ahead and hit their assignment. He's got low pad level and gets underneath the defender. He's got the inside hands, and man, again, he never stops moving his feet, which is why he's consistently finishing, and it also means that it's extremely difficult for defenders to disengage. I love it. He's consistently firing off with that low pad level. He moves his feet on contact, and as I mentioned earlier, when he gets those inside hands, he's dominant. I love that block. He keeps his base the entire time as he's waddling out there to the outside linebacker, and he finishes again. He steps underneath himself a little bit there, but again, it's still another good job of reaching the 3 technique as Tyler continues to add strength to his frame and develops a more consistent and compact punch. He's going to become a really special offensive lineman. The patience he has while pass blocking is truly beyond his years, and is a real strength of his game. Thanks so much, guys, for watching the video. If you've enjoyed this content, the best way to let me know is number 1, by liking the video and subscribing to the channel. Remember, if there's anybody you want me to cover in the future, leave it in the comment section below.